Hey guys, it's me, Harmony Blazinski, and welcome to another live stream. Um, I hope y'all enjoyed yesterday's live stream. Today there's gonna be something new added on. Let me go ahead and add the Q&A. So yeah, whatever colors y'all think I should use for a bead string, trying to get the Q&A set up. It's being dumb. Um, there we go. It's there. So yeah, anyways, hi guys, it's me, Harmony Blazinski, and welcome to another live stream. So yeah, any colors you want, as you can see, little Q&A up there. I've always beads, so yeah. I'll wait here patiently, if I have to, because I don't think the beginning of this people are gonna really suggest anything. Honestly, if anybody's interested in reading the novel I wrote, Chronicles of Starveria, feel free to read that book. I will say there has been a lot of like original concepts, like there was one character that was cut out because they were basically a very the depressed character in Chronicles of Starveria, so they kind of just found their way out of the story because of like how they ended up dying and stuff. It was just kind of emotional. Um and then like another thing that was changed in Chronicles of Starveria is um as y'all might have known. Oh, hi Nugget Dragons Creations. What color should I use for a bead string? There's also another character that was also cut out from Chronicles of Starveria, which was just a character that didn't really fit in really well with the storyline. They might come back. That character might actually come back. I don't know. But also the character Harmony Blazinski has went through a lot of like changes. Like originally she went from an elf to a satyr, and then she went to a werewolf. So that's kind of like the thing, and like also her hair color kind of changed. Like her hair color used to be blonde, and then it changed to blue because like I just felt like that fit the character better. Just like the character James, he used to be a character named Azar, and in the original storyline, Azar was supposed to become Harmony's boyfriend after Surge cheated on Harmony. So then that's like the original storyline, and it wasn't really a very good character arc for Surge, but also yeah, Azar ended up becoming James instead, and then the he the Czar was basically replaced with Arthur as Harmony Blazinski's um boyfriend in the novel. Obviously in real life, my boyfriend is technically Dirk Kaiser, so yeah. Um, and then another thing that might have like changed in the storyline was the whole there was some of the names. There was a couple characters. There was a original storyline, like a real original storyline of Chronicles of Starfuria that was completely scrapped. Um so yeah. Huh? I don't know what you mean by that, Step Outer, because I'm talking about a novel, not because guess what? Arthur is a made up character, and obviously, so no, Arthur is not a real person. I know people probably think that because, my actual character, Harmony Blazinski, is per se the character and mascot of this channel. So I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, so Dirk Kaiser isn't a real boyfriend, blah blah blah. Well, actually, that's not like. Just to let y'all know, Arthur is a made up character. So, um, this, um, I just said this. This is a beat string. Also, does anyone want to give me some color scheme ideas now that I just told some of the backstory of how Chronicles Starfria kind of came to be? Okay, I'm gonna ban you, Sabouter, because you're being extremely inappropriate. Um, yeah, you're getting put in timeout for 24 hours, cause yeah. I can do a color scheme of that, yeah. Or while I tell more of a story of how some of these characters came to be of my novel Chronicles of Starfria. Honestly, a lot of like I had to bring that up because some people just I feel like people get confused. Yeah. I'm doing really good actually. How are you, Jessica? Good thing I get a really cool color scheme that has not been made yet. Kind of a shame. I like in 8 minutes of a live stream, I already had to time out somebody because they were actually saying some inappropriate stuff of what I should write about, and I've seen a writer write about that, and they had to basically completely delete it because yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea. So yeah, I'm just like telling y'all like why I'm not gonna write about something like that. Maybe with a villain, maybe, but like because it makes more sense. It makes you really, really hate the villain. But yeah, that there are certain things. It is a PG-13 novel, so yeah, that person's definitely timed out for a certain amount of time. It's like that is not what. So yeah, it makes no sense that people have to like say something like that. Well, I mean, they weren't telling me to write something bad. But they just, yeah. I don't know why somebody's gonna say that in somebody's live stream when you're gonna be banned quickly on YouTube for saying something like that. Anyways. Anyways, I'm going to make the blue, purple, pink, and hot pink. Go ahead and make that, and then I'll make the next bead string. So yeah, I had to like explain some of the Chronicles of Starfree original lore. It wasn't a really boring original lore where Harmony used to be named Luna, and she was abused by her mother instead of having a different trauma in the real novel. So that was originally another original form of Chronicles of Starfree for like some of like the concepts and stuff. Honestly, my favorite thing to make is obviously dragon puppets, which is kind of why I'm doing the bead strings, because they will they'll actually become a dragon puppet color scheme, so that's kind of cool. So we got blue right here. 6 colors of blue. Okay, so somebody said purple next, so let's do purple. But yeah, there was a lot of like original lore for Chronicles of Starfree, and then it became so yeah, that's actually a novel I've written. If you actually check my bio, you'll see the link for like Inspired, and it says, Inspired profile, all my books, and yeah. Okay, bye, Jessica. Now, I know some people are gonna be like, oh, what's Inspired? Now you're just trying to lead me to some weird source. Inspired, like, just like a FY, like, for your information, Inspired is actually, basically a place for authors to share their novels, self-publish them, but basically all the books on there that authors self-publish, they're free to read, kind of thing. So you don't have to like pay any money to get on Inspired. It is a completely free site. It's not like, oh, oh look, it's a novel. It's free, but I just figured I just kind of like bring some of like the original lore back because because, there's some lore that, was coming to be, and then it ended up being completely scrapped from the storyline. Like, having one character that is extremely depressed, and then, like, they end up, just dying in the end, and yeah. I am not gonna say how they died, because somebody's probably gonna end up getting triggered or mad at me, because, yeah, that's kind of why, because there is a author that used to be an author on YouTube, but I can't mention the story or... Bro. Sorry, guys. My mom was putting away laundry. And obviously you don't want your own mother's voice being captured in a live stream. That's just kind of messed up. But so let's go find who suggested this color scheme so I can shout them out. Um, Lil Nig, Night Xmas 101. Thanks for the color scheme suggestion. It's really cool looking. So their suggestion was blue, purple, pink, and hot pink. So that's really cool. Really cool color design. So yes, thank you to them. Anyways, back to the Chronicles of Styrophoria originality kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of how one character, and then there was another character. She was a singer, but also had a lot of like talent, and she didn't really fit in the storyline. Like if she were to like, well, actually, it was a he. My bad. That character was a he, and he wouldn't fit in the storyline of Chronicles of Starfria like at all. And there was supposed to be more drama to Chronicles of Starfria. Between some of like the characters, there was a little bit. There was going to be originally some drama, and between like Azar and Surge, and it just wasn't really the best like villain arc. I mean, yeah, we find out like, but yeah, I mean, of course, the character was, is the son of the main villain, but it just, y'all know how that is. It didn't fit. It was kind of like when I was writing it, it just did not fit. So yeah, that character, he didn't end up in the storyline. If he ever does end up in the storyline, he's not gonna be a main character. Um, if he does end up in, I mean, he might just be like that one character you meet randomly somewhere, and he's just like that really nice character, kind of like that side character if he does end up in the storyline. But so yeah, that's like some of like the originality stuff of like original what was going to be in the storyline and what didn't end up in the storyline. So yeah, like I said, if anybody's actually interested in reading Chronicles of Starfria, which I would be kind of surprised, you can. Actually, you can if you really want to read it. It's if you check my bio page, it's actually in my bio. So that's kind of like no, honestly, I know like the original storyline, like the original completely original storyline. It's actually like I can still access it. Um, because the original account it was on was actually sadly got hacked into, and that original account was actually my alt account, and obviously it did not have all the protection things in place. It, which, oh well, there's no getting that account back. So, for that original storyline, but obviously this one's my account that has my YouTube channel and current Inspired account is actually pretty safe. Oh, why is my like why did I keep my phone down that whole time? Okay. So I'm gonna have to do this color scheme. I'm doing orange, obviously, because somebody suggested it. I know people are like orange, yay. But it's actually kind of nice. People are actually suggesting color schemes, yay. So yeah, that's kind of that whole thing. I did explain what happened to my original account in my community posts. But yeah, there's no getting that account back, unfortunately, because I mean, but I will admit that original storyline wasn't really that interesting. It was honestly kind of boring in my opinion. So like, as an author, in my opinion, I wasn't even proud of the original storyline anyways. Because it just, in my opinion, it was an extremely boring storyline. The character just wanted to kill her, her evil mom, and yeah. That's basically what they like in the original storyline of Chronicles of Star. That just would have been really, really boring. Like, wow, the character just, it's just kind of like that whole like fairy tale thing that's already been in Disney movies. Like, what's the point of somebody else writing about it? Like it just makes no sense. Y'all know what I mean, right? Like, why would somebody like? Here's my thing. Why would somebody write something that's already been written? Like, I mean, Plus, again, the whole plagiarism thing. You can't even copy somebody else's work. Why is somebody asking if I'm Etherean? Here's my thing. I am obviously not Etherean. And here's what I don't understand. Like, people who make puppets, the dragon puppets, or just normal animal puppets, people just assume that they want to pretend to be an animal. Or, they are a furry and they have a anthropomorphic character. Like, I'm not, like, I don't hate Therians at all. I actually support them. I'm just gonna just let y'all know that before somebody comes right at me like, oh no, you're being rude. Like, no, I'm just saying I'm not a Therian, in a most respectful manner. So yeah, so like, yeah, but anyways, as far as, and I know somebody's gonna say, oh well, they're furries. Well, most of the werewolf characters in my novel Chronicles are furry. They keep their ears and their tail throughout because they're a werewolf, and that's how you can tell them apart from everybody. But yeah, I know somebody's gonna say it. No, those characters are not furries, they're werewolves, and there's a difference. But there is going to be some classified information I'm not sharing about Chronicles of Starfire, but I can share some, like, the original storylines if somebody wants to, like, take it, because here's my thing, the novel is technically not, it would be pretty bad if somebody were to basically steal my own ideas, and yeah, then they're basically technically. I know somebody's gonna say, "Oh, no, they're still your ideas." Technically, if you have an idea, if somebody takes the idea before you write about it or something, therefore at that point it's not your idea; it's their idea. Then, just like the FYI, that's the sad truth of it. It's like if somebody were to take my ideas at that point, I can't use the idea because somebody else used it, and then either way, even if it was originally my idea, it's still technically plagiarism. So, like, that's why I don't really share, like, anything that's coming up in a novel. It's just kind of like that surprise, like, oh, surprise, the novel just came out. So, that's why I do one chapter at a time before I say, oh yeah, it's out now, you can read it. I would rather people not steal my ideas for writing. But yes, y'all can read my novels. If you check my bio, my Inspired account is there. I'll be able to see my novels, but unfortunately, you're gonna have to log in and stuff like that because Inspired is very because my novels are PG-13, that's why I like Inspired than just using a than just using like a site like Google Docs where anybody can read it. It would probably, like, YouTube would probably ban me for child safety if I didn't do that or didn't use Inspired or something like Inspired. So therefore, yes, you're gonna have to log in. So if you're under 13, you wouldn't be able to read it, kind of thing. For the whole safety of children thing that YouTube has created, as stupid as we all think it is. So yeah, this week may not even have any sponsors at all, so far. A lot of people haven't really, there's always 2 suggestions so far. But I'm actually kind of happy that people are giving other ideas for. I think people are beginning to realize these are for the puppets, and yeah, this week's going pretty well so far. So, here we go. Here's what it looks like. We got the white. I know people are gonna like, that's tan. That's not white. Technically it is. No, we actually do have gold beads. Like, surprisingly. So we're gonna use them. Since that person that suggested this color scheme is like beads. Golden beads. I could tell you, a story where, basically, last weekend, I was friends with this random person that was apparently friends with my ex, and he started coming to me saying, asking me questions like if I know anything, why he's not responding, and it's like, how am I supposed to know anything? I don't talk to the person anymore. And honestly, that person ended up becoming my friend, and they just kept like talking about the person. And it's like, y'all know how that is when you don't want to hear about somebody that you don't even talk to or about anymore, and you just got somebody talking about them, and you're like, you just try not to be annoyed, kind of thing. Like that's so annoying. Um. So yeah, here's this color scheme. It's finished, as somebody suggested. Let me find the person, cause it's fair. It's only fair to shout them out. Oh, did they delete? No, didn't delete it. So, Jessica suggested the color scheme of orange, blue, black, red, white, and gold. Which is actually pretty cool because I actually do have a metallic gold marker. Wink, wink. So, yay! Shout out to you, Jessica, for suggesting such a wonderful color scheme. Um, so yeah, definitely shout out to all the fans of Chronicles of Starfree. But a lot of people are probably like, oh, what's Chronicles of Starfree? Chronicles of Starfree is a novel I wrote. Um, so yeah. But technically, somebody probably could go, oh yeah, that's actually my idea when, you know. But that's why. But I would actually like some I would actually like some suggestions or like feedback for my novel Chronicles of Starfree now that I've actually talked about some of the original lore. Um, original another some more original lore. Chronicles of Starfree. Let me think. There's not really much. Um, but I think people got confused. But yeah, there's a lot of like original characters that didn't make it into the storyline, and there's some new characters. Um, the Chronicles of Starfree is very D&D based, I guess. But a lot of people are now probably gonna tell me, "Oh no, dragons are not the good guys; or evil." Obviously, I took like some of the classes from D&D, but I didn't use any of um. So yeah, honestly, I can't really think of any more original lore from Chronicles of Starfree. Um, so yeah, but honestly, back to that story about that, there was like honestly like just like the other day, I ended up friending somebody on Discord, that was trying to basically ask me a bunch of questions about somebody I don't talk to anymore, and it's like, how am I supposed to know why they're not talking to you? And then that same person, after 2 days of knowing this person, they started sending like highly inappropriate stuff I can't talk about on YouTube, and then they started joking about a very sensitive topic, and I was like, why you gotta joke about that topic? And I just was like, one of my other friend was like, yeah, you shouldn't trust them because they're being weird and they are probably just not somebody you could trust, kind of thing. So yeah, I ended up blocking that person. Um, then we kind of got have a story with, but yeah, and then we got, honestly, I could tell you all my whole life story about maybe how I became a writer, because honestly, when I was younger, I started actually writing books in, elementary. Of course, most of those books, I am gonna be honest, I've lost the original copies. I mean, there are still some books that I've written in middle school that I still have access to. I wrote a lot through I started actually writing in my first book was actually written in second grade or third grade. I can't remember, but technically my first real book was actually written, like my first really good book was actually written in fifth grade, and it was just more of a children's book. Honestly, it's just it was more of a children's book originally. So some of like my original books were kind of like on the children's books side. So yeah, I wrote books from so I've wrote books. I've started writing books in fifth grade, and then there was a time when I kind of just like gave up on writing because I kind of explained that because of somebody I don't talk to anymore. They basically made me lose completely lose my passion for writing for a little bit for a while. Before I started writing again, which obviously the first book I started writing after that long break is Chronicles of Starfaria, and honestly, right before that, it took a while to get to writing chapter one because there was a lot of like original lore and um, like I've talked about that at the beginning about some of like the original lore, the original character cast, like, there's another original form where, Harmony's brother, Matthew, he, actually rescues that depressed character I talked about, later from, falling to his death. He was basically rescued, and then, he ended up being, Harmony's best friend, and then, like, later on, um, yeah, he died later on. So it's, like, so that was kind of like that original storyline of just a random character that's no longer there. Um, then we have another character that honestly did not get very much of a character development to even really talk about the character much, but it was just like that character that didn't fit in the Chronicles of Starfria storyline, and it was just like this character who was like very talented character who also was really good at singing um and yeah, that was kind of like the whole thing, and they were kind of nervous, and the original characters, Azar, who, Harmony, they kind of like supported that original character, but then the character just disappeared. Like, I did not end up using that character in Chronicles of Starfria, and Azar, like I said earlier, he changed from, he went from, being Harmony's Mazar was originally going to be Harmony's boyfriend in the original storyline, and then for Chronicles of Starfaria, then that was changed, and then Arthur came into the story, and then Azar was replaced by James, which ended up just being Harmony's best friend instead. So that's some more original storyline of Chronicles of Starfria. So yeah, honestly, so yeah, that's like everything that did not end up making it in my book. I'm not gonna talk about things I'm going to write about because that just allows people that could come on here and be like, oh look, that's an idea I could do, and then they do it, and then basically, yeah, it wasn't my idea originally, but I basically gave them my idea that I was gonna write about, and then basically it's no longer my idea in the end. So yeah. Also, if anybody wants to suggest any other bead street color schemes, please do, because it really does help me be able to do more with the puppets than just two, which would be a little boring. Like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I mean, it, it will be a little boring. Um, like I have nothing. I me So, guys, what color scheme should I use for a bead string? 2 to 6 colors, please. I have all these colors, here. Um, so what colors, for anybody here, honestly, what colors should I use? Been waiting for a while for somebody to suggest some colors or a color scheme. So far we got the color scheme, orange, blue, black, red, white, and gold, and then another color scheme of hot pink, pink, purple, and blue. So like whatever y'all want to like suggest. Honestly, I have an idea that I kind of want to do. That would be kind of interesting to do. Um, so I think I am going to do that while we wait for somebody else to suggest a color scheme. It's not really better for me to sit here for an hour just talking about some of the original storylines. But yeah, but I'm gonna say Chronicles of Symphoria has come a long way from the original storyline to the storyline y'all read now. Ooh, yes, red. That actually I haven't made a y'all red puppet or yet. That is actually a really great suggestion. It's actually kind of cool for the color I haven't done yet. Like, wow, that like I was just about to do color on my own, but yes, red. I will do red. I'll gladly do red. We got plenty of red, you know. So let me just get this first beat tied. Definitely. Let's get to that. That's just one of the colors I have not made like an all of one color. Like all of those I have not done a one color on. And it's just a shame, really, because people are just like, oh yeah, you know, this is a cool color. Because a lot of people have been suggesting blue and those colors, and I think this amount of time, people are suggesting a different. I'm like, it's like I found a different audience, kind of thing. Like, so far there hasn't been any sponsors for this week, which that means I get to choose the sponsors for this week. Yippee! Um, and which I'm gonna be choosing ones that are colors that have been used in these beat strings. Yippee! Because that just means this set of people just yeah. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed learning more about like the original storyline of Chronicles of Starfuria, because I feel like y'all are interested in hearing about it, and also I don't mind people taking those ideas. Like if somebody is, it's like, whatever. It's not really, it's not really my idea if I'm not gonna write it, you know. It's just kind of like that thing, like, oh yeah. Only thing is, I don't really have much red. But red's not very popular color in the bead world. I'm just gonna be honest. It's just that like that random color. Sadly, random, very random color. This is probably gonna end up being the shortest of all these bead strings this week. And eventually, these bead strings, it will change into something else. Other people still suggest color schemes, but I'm basically gonna be all out of beads to do these eventually, because I do not have a very big collection of beads. Or at least some colors would be written on a piece of paper instead. So I know a lot of people are just like, this is interesting. Like, getting to learn, a new technique somebody's never done before. Because somebody did ask, what is a bead string? That means I am technically the first one who basically invented them. But it's kind of sad when I look up my name. They say I'm most known for gameplays or most known for a particular game. Um, Apparently, according to Google AI, I'm most known for Star Equestrian. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm pretty sure I'm most known for the puppets. Just to be honest, that's something I've noticed. Like, something that I've noticed, something that people really like is my puppets. And it's kind of the reason why people continuously come here to just, you know, um, to just like, this is kind of like a brownish red in a way. It is red, so don't worry, it's like a brick red. Um, so yeah, but it's definitely interesting that people just, it's just interesting, having to get to see y'all's color schemes, because it is meaningful to like actually really connect with viewers, and you like let viewers give you ideas instead of just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this and that, and then viewers end up not liking what you do, or just not liking the colors, and then you're not gonna go anywhere, like you know like, honestly, I can consider pink red, but obviously pink is not red. Cause yeah. But honestly, a color scheme that I've always wanted to do, somebody might end up suggesting later on. At this point, if I suggest my own color scheme, that's gonna be the last puppet to be made, because yeah, but it's a shame. Sometimes people are like, oh, I just want one color, and that's the only color I want. Like, yeah, y'all know that. So now we're going to tie the red bead string. But yeah, I had a talk about some of the original storylines of Chronicles of Starfreya, since that is basically a life story. Like, yeah, these are like the original storyline, the original lore. Um, I mean, Harmony's original lore was just like she's traumatized because her village was burned down, and that was the only thing that happened to her. Then, when the story kind of evolved, to which that's already been written, by the way, in my novel, which, yeah, is available and expired, but, that kind of became this, yeah, that character just was, like, really cool. So yeah, here we go. Here's this one. I know it's gonna be the shortest bead string y'all have ever seen. Um, but yeah, my red supply is very limited, so I have to be very careful how many I use. So yeah, these are all the bead strings. Let me think of something I can, like a life story I could tell. I honestly I can't really think of any life stories that people could really think of, but Also, what colors do y'all want? 2 to 6 colors, please. Somebody did suggest just red. I would rather have 2 colors. Yeah, honestly, one color scheme that I've always wanted to do, is like a color scheme where it's like white, red, and black. Yay, cool. Of course, that would be my idea, not really y'all's, but yeah, my point being, Chronicles of Starfreya has definitely came a long way, but like I've said multiple times in this live stream, if anybody wants to read Chronicles of Starfreya, it is available on Inspired, which is a site where I get to share my books. Anyone else can share their books. In my opinion, it's better than sharing a Google Doc, because I'm less likely to be hacked, and but plus I'm less likely for people to go, actually come at me because, oh yeah, my child was reading a book and was reading something that they're not supposed to read, that kind of thing. Because it is a PG-13 novel. It is for teenagers. So yeah, that's why I use Inspired, because I'm able to put the child limitation thing on where it's going to say, yes, this is a PG-13 book. Because there's just more there. I mean, eventually in the novel, there's gonna be a little bit of, I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Because there's some things that are mentioned, and yeah. But yeah, so if you want to read Chronicles of Starapria, you can go to my bio, and then you'll see my account for Inkspire. You can then you can get the app or go to the website of Inkspire, and then um so and yeah. But anyways, back to the bead strings. Um, eh, what colors do y'all think I should use? Like, any colors, 2 to 6 colors. So far, I just have, this many. I just have 3. I'm gonna be honest, the color suggestions is not as good today, but it's probably because this is the first time I've done a live stream at this time on a Sunday. Because most of the time I do my live streams at 11, and yeah, but it's probably a good idea to kind of like change up the times when I do these and stuff. And I usually don't start making these until the Monday of, and yeah, it's pretty good. But actually, you know what I'm actually happy about? People are actually suggesting orange, which I think it's pretty cool. People are actually suggesting orange. I mean, the gold is doable. I can actually take my gold metallic. I can actually use one of my metallic markers. I will be honest. This one's gonna be a challenge. So I'm just gonna tell Jessica, I am up for this challenge to make this dragon puppet right here, make it a reality. I'm gonna make a red dragon puppet, which is kind of strange because that's actually my boyfriend's favorite color. But yeah, hopefully people don't actually get confused because, yeah, I did actually explain the whole, character development of the original. Um, But yeah, don't get confused for the character in my novel, and they're not the same person. But yeah. But honestly, it is a shame that there is an author I know that actually used to have a novel not free to read that they didn't ever actually finish on on good old YouTube, but they had to delete it, and yeah, I would rather not get to that point, and it's still a shame that somebody today just was like, telling me to write about the same thing that person wrote about. It's like, I can't write about that. I can't write that in depth. Like, that's gonna be like one of those novels that would be a banned novel, like The Outsiders book, for example. I know y'all probably have heard of that book. It is technically a banned book because there is. I mean, I don't know. I know it's kind of hard to explain what a banned book is because I've never really been into reading the banned books. But I will be honest, this upcoming week I will be doing more live streams. Maybe I'll do one on Friday. I'll think about it. That depends whenever I get to 1K subscribers. We will see. We will see. But we will never know when I get there. Which honestly, I'm actually pretty happy. I'm very close to 1K. Which honestly, the dragon puppets have been pretty popular, fairly popular. I'm actually glad y'all really do enjoy them. So yeah, we got the red one. So yeah, anyways, what color schemes should I use for a bead string? 2 to 6 colors. I'm kind of just like sitting here waiting for somebody to give me a color suggestion. Because I just think the people just come in this live stream for like a quick second and they're like, wow, this is boring, and leave. When, yeah, I will admit, I'm thinking about trying to figure out some new things to do in live streams, maybe. Because I'm pretty sure people do get bored. They've been, and after a while, they're like, oh yeah, don't join that live stream. It's going to be extremely boring. Like, here's my thing, in my opinion, if you really want to help out with the dragon puppets and, see which ones are made and want to be made, people are probably just going to see the same, they probably see the same puppets and they're like, oh no. Like, I don't know what a bead string is, and then, they move on, and then they realize, oh yeah, that is, but yeah, it's probably because that's, only, a thing with my channel, just like people probably, I'm surprised people ask, what's a dragon puppet interview? Like, that's because people don't really, they're not as passionate, about puppeteering. It's not really like the old days where we actually can see a puppet show on the street like the old days, and it's just kind of like my art teacher, my theater teacher, have said, puppeteering is a lost art, even though people still do puppets. People now just do them with songs, and they don't even do voice acting or anything for the puppets like I do on this channel. Honestly, if anybody wants to suggest a color scheme for a bead string, go right ahead. Because I basically this whole live stream for the bead strings, people basically just give me color suggestions. Like, I wouldn't make one unless somebody were to give me like a color suggestion that they want to see, and these color schemes right here, they're gonna become a puppet, which is kind of like a big thing on my channel. Besides like the gameplays and art and stuff like that. But there's probably some people are like, oh, I haven't really seen much about your channel. So yeah. Oh, hello, Inherited Hopes. So far, I've only gotten 3 bead strings here. Yeah, I picked a different time than I usually do. I usually do 11 o'clock for my times, and then it ends at 12. But yeah, I ended up not doing that. And yeah, obviously people probably are like, oh yeah, that's new, I don't feel like watching that. But I actually tried my best, because I actually did put a actual thumbnail, and I'm gonna start doing that on my live streams. So like, if any of y'all would like a color scheme, so far we have as suggested, we have Tia had that suggested red, and then let's see, Jessica suggested orange, blue, black, red, white, and gold, and then little Nig dash Night Xmas dash 101 suggested the color scheme blue, purple, pink, and hot pink, and he actually said color scheme. That is actually kind of funny. Honestly, I feel like a really cool color scheme is red, white, and yeah. And I don't think I'm gonna suggest a color scheme at this point of time in the live stream, so that's what I get my share. But yeah. I've tried doing an intro video, and I'm gonna be honest, it did not work very well. People just kind of just didn't work well. To be honest, um, sadly, like honestly, even for, and I don't know how to do it for a live stream. It just honestly, it doesn't really work well on my channel, or at least it used to. People would just be like, "Oh no, I'm gonna scroll away. I don't like this video." You know, because there was just a lot of people saying they didn't like my intros, and it just, yeah, actually, it did used to kind of work well, but then my videos started getting less popular when the games that I was playing there just lost popularity when people decided to be like, oh yeah, Steal the Brainwatt and Grow a Garden are so good. Like, wow. I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, those weren't really that cool. In my opinion, for game wise, they were kind of really boring games. I didn't even try Steal a Brain Rot because here's my thing: I'm not really into brain rot stuff, so I just think it's stupid. Like, no offense, invented it or invented the characters. Like, yeah, it's creative. It's just, I don't know why it has to have a name and stuff. And it's just like. But yes, to answer your question, Parrot hopes I have tried a intro piece to my videos, and I'm gonna be honest, it didn't really work well, at least originally. I could try it again, but I would also have to keep those videos in my yeah, that's honestly fair, but I had no friends who actually played Grow a Garden, so I've never really actually played it much, and I just find it boring. I don't see what's so cool about it. And honestly, I feel like it could be more. I just feel like at this point, it's just kind of like this rip off of Adopt Me. At this point, it's with plants and you're growing plants. I'm gonna be honest, Adopt Me. I'd rather play Adopt Me than whatever Grow Garden is. Right now I'm gonna write down my color scheme suggestions since that way I can remember it later. Because I don't really have enough of these colors, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to get more of these beads eventually. Like black and red are like two colors that I don't have enough of, sadly. Just like white. White's another one. But actually, I've got plenty of clear beads I can still use, but yeah, this is the color scheme I want to use, and just kind of gonna set it to the side because that's yeah, I had to write it down so I don't forget. Plus, those tech colors I probably should get more of anyways. Kind of a shame that the only 3 people have actually suggested color schemes. To be honest. So these are the only color schemes I ended up getting done with. And there was actually no sponsored puppets for this week, which is, I mean, it is probably different for people, because here's my thing, I'm not really a recognizable YouTuber yet, so it's eventually I will be, obviously. People that want to suggest color scheme ideas, to be honest. But yeah, I'll be here for a couple more minutes if anybody wants to suggest color schemes. If not, then I'll probably just go ahead and end the live stream, because it's now been in 1 hour. It's now 2:31 for me, which was when I was going to end it anyways. So yeah. So I'm actually quite surprised because most of my bead string live streams, people would still be suggesting bead strings by the end, bead string color schemes by the end, and then now it's not, you know. But I guess eventually less and less people want to suggest bead string colors, and I guess sometimes there's gonna be weeks where there's less, and then there's gonna be weeks well there's more kind of thing. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with the color schemes I got, along with the other color scheme that I wanted to do. Ooh, brown and yellow, that is actually a good idea. It actually reminds me of a bumblebee. If you think about it, it does kind of remind me of a bumblebee. So I'll do that color scheme before I end the live stream. So ignore my sound effect. I just gotta put my phone down so I can actually get a piece of string. I don't know where I don't know where my pink string went. My pink string! It ran away! I love it when my strings they just disappear. Disappear, never to be seen again. Yellow is definitely a color I have a lot of beads of. Actually, I haven't really used brown, to be honest. That would be a new color in the bead string collection. Or, just a new color in general, new color in the, dragon puppet world. Yeah, it would rather escape than just be there. It's like, yeah, no, I don't want to be used anymore. I'm tired of being cut shorter and shorter for some bead strings. It would be kind of funny if, like, string can actually talk. I bet it'd be like, no, don't cut me. Oh, no. The creator's gonna be like, well, too bad. You're needed for a project. Man, that just sounded so wrong. I'm not gonna lie. And there's brown. Just do a little pattern of brown and yellow. Honestly, yeah, that is true. Nobody really thinks, like, it's like, I mean, the three colors that are kind of rare to see people suggest. I mean, people rarely suggest, in this whole series, people rarely suggest white, gray, black, and brown. And, most people would rather just have the colors of the rainbow or pink. Those are probably on the most popular side. Oh, hello, silly Snoot. We got brown. We got brown. Yay! We got brown. But yeah, like any of if I end up thinking of a color scheme idea during these live streams, obviously those are gonna be the last priority because my fans come first always. Because like they suggested something, like why am I gonna do my suggestion? You know? In a way, this color scheme kind of reminds me of a hive wing from Wings of Fire, but oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Also, my question is, I bet your cat's like, what the heck? Why are you acting like a dog? I mean, I'm pretty sure the cat's like, why are you acting like a dog? Probably just like, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna sit here. And the cat just yawns and just falls back to sleep like, yawn. I'm just gonna sleep some more. I mean, it is kind of true about cats. I mean, they kind of sleep a lot. I mean, I used to say cats are boring, but then I started seeing videos of cats actually playing. So I guess some cats are more active than others. To be honest, I'm gonna be quite surprised, but there is brown glitter beads. Actually, there are brown glitter beads, so I'm gonna use them. ended up not being any sponsors this week, so that's actually pretty good. Which means nobody suggested any colors that have been used before in my puppets, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I feel like cats like to chew on anything, you know? You know, they're cats. It's their natural instinct. Yeah, that is actually a good one in Inherited Hopes. Cats just like, I want to taste what Christmas tastes like. But yeah, it's probably a good idea to not have a cat trying to eat your Christmas tree just because of obvious reasons. Because we all know the Christmas lights and the, you know, they're not trying to, you know, sound crazy or anything, but we all know those Christmas lights, they can, a cat should not be trying to chew on the Christmas tree, because what if they try to chew on the wire? That would not be good. Unless the cat somehow did it without anything happening, then I would just be surprised. Hang on, I'm trying to dig for a certain bead color in this little bag of beads. This metallic yellow color is what I'm trying to look for. Okay, I got 6 metallic yellows. I'll say that's a new one. I never actually heard cats that like to lick you. Most a dog thing, but I mean it is a cat thing too. And I guess it just means the cat feels safe around you, which is pretty good. Honestly, I used to have a cat, but my cat really did not like me, to be honest. Like, I actually did used to have a cat, and that cat was just like my cat that I had just didn't like me. My cat, you know, like the cat that I had would just hiss at me. But unfortunately, I don't have a cat anymore. I just have a dog, a husky, to be exact, named Romeo. I mean, I sometimes post videos, and stuff of my dog, but not really much anymore. But yeah. Just have to tie the last bead onto this bead string. If anybody wants me to do any more bead string ideas, feel free to just, you know, suggest it. Otherwise, I am pretty sure I'm gonna be ending this live stream pretty soon. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like a life story of how my cat was towards me. My cat, the she went over the Rainbow Bridge. She just would hiss at me and stuff like that. That cat did not like me at all. Like, at all, unfortunately. Like most of my life story stuff in this live stream was mostly about my novel and how Chronicles of Starfaria, like my life story on all the many changes I've made and what I felt like didn't fit in the story and did. And obviously, I mean, for those of you that are aware of my Inspired account and have read it, toodles for you. I feel like there's not really many people who have actually read my novel Chronicles of Starfaria, which is, if you look at my bio of my YouTube channel, of this channel right here that y'all are watching a live from, if y'all were to go to my bio, the Inspired account is there, and then like if you were, but you would have to log on to Expired, but I mean, either way, you'll be able to read it. It's honestly a really good book. Just like honestly, I'm hoping somebody, if nobody's able to read it, I'm hoping somebody's able to let me know that. But yeah. Ooh, you know, I haven't done a pink and orange one yet. That is a good suggestion. Cause honestly, anything that's has orange in it, like pink and orange and stuff like that, that doesn't even into existence because a lot of people just don't like that color. It's kind of like, so that's why the string ran away too, huh? I honestly, this is probably gonna be the longest live stream I've ever done. Um, because I felt like doing more. But this will be the last featuring I'm gonna do. So yeah, and I just felt like having five, like I did last week. As long as I have up to 5 or 6 ideas, that's pretty good for the week. Um, Sorry about the screen being dark for a minute. I had to put my phone down so I can get the string. And then I have to tie the bead and put my phone down again. It's just like, wow. But honestly, I've been working with beads for a while now. I've been making jewelry and stuff. But honestly, I can tell y'all a story of how like I used to be extremely generous. Like I used to give bracelets to everybody, even people that didn't deserve it, because I am what you would call as somebody that's way too trusting towards everyone because honestly I just used to give bracelets, just basically using me to make them a bracelet or a necklace, and it just eventually got to the point where it was overwhelming on me. And I also used to make these little string bracelets, which I might actually start doing one day. It's been a while since I've done those. I probably should get back around to doing those again. Just can't find my wheel to be able to make them. I feel like it'd just be interesting for y'all to actually see on my channel, but yeah. Okay, bye. So yeah, I used to actually give bracelets and necklaces to everybody at school. And then eventually I realized you can't really trust everybody in this world. There's just some people that, they see you're really nice and they just take advantage of your kindness kind of thing, and it's just kind of like the sad truth. And I've actually, had to dealt with that before, and it's like, it's kind of hard, when you feel like, because, I mean, I'm an extrovert, and honestly, we all know how extroverts are. They, like people. They like trying to befriend everybody, but I've actually learned you just can't say everybody's your friend, because not everybody wants to actually be your friend, because sometimes people, they act like they're your friend, they're not really your friend. They just use you because you have a advantage for them, and like for example, because yeah, you're right, inherited hopes. When kind people get treated like crap and get taken advantage of, people just get more and more afraid to be kind, and it just makes kindness look like something that is not wasn't even meant to be to begin with. It starts to look like just, like people just use you if you're kind. Like if you're too kind, you're gonna get used, and it's like, I mean, that's not really true. I mean, I can tell you all stories like of how I got taken advantage of, but I'm still gonna be kind. I just learned not to make everybody bracelets and necklaces unless they actually genuinely deserve it, because um like I have this friend in my English class, and there's this random girl in my English class that acts really nice, but um my my friend in the English class, she actually told me that she's acting fake. Like she knew right away, like I'm guessing she's very emotionally intelligent, which means she can read people's emotions and like how somebody actually is. Like she can read through somebody's faked actions. So like it's kind of nice to have that friend by your side that knows, oh yeah, you just can't trust them. Like, because honestly, I also had a friend a while back that was like, yeah, oh yay, thank you for telling me, silly snoot. So like a while back, um I also had a friend that was like, there's some people don't laugh with you, they laugh at you, and it's like that is the truth. People do. Some people, yeah. Also, thank you, inherited hopes. Like some people, it's just that's kind of my story, and honestly, So I used to have Snapchat, right? Like I said one thing on Snapchat, and then people started spreading rumors about it, and then basically my whole reputation got ruined by just saying one thing on the internet that was actually just a joke, and it went from this joke to apparently that person was not trustworthy, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make you look bad," and then there was another friend that I was friends with who actually was like, "Oh yeah, cuz they basically were just really toxic to me, and and then there was this friend group that basically made, tricked me to say a word, and they were like, "Oh yeah, she's mean, and she's, this, that, and the other," because, they're like, "Oh," but even though they were like acting like, "Oh, you're not the real one," if, kind of thing, and yeah. I'm just gonna be honest. Snapchat kind of just ruined my life. At my old school, and I'm gonna be honest. Be very careful on the internet, like what you say. Like if you think it's just something that's not even that bad, it can be taken to the point where it's somebody can say, "Oh no, they mean this," when that's not even what you meant by it. Like, you can make a simple joke and somebody can go, "Oh, yeah, they said this and they were joking." Like, that's just, it's a shame. That, it's just, a shame of, like, what I had to go through at my old school, like, going from, like, this bad reputation, being that person that people want to use me for because I make bracelets, and then it's like, because the string bracelets I made were really popular. Everybody wanted me to make one, and here's the thing, I did it when I didn't even think like to just save the string for myself for my own projects, and it's just that's kind of like, and yeah, and you're right, inherited hopes, everything stays on the internet forever, because sometimes you can delete something and it has been screenshotted. Like there's something that I said on Inspired because I was talking about somebody that I really didn't like, and I took a video of it, and somebody apparently screen recorded it, and everybody has it now at my old school, and it's just kind of like that. It's a shame. It really is. And it's like I would like y'all to learn from that. Learn from my mistakes and know, okay, yeah, it's best not to, but it's best to be really careful. Like, because even on YouTube, you gotta be careful. Because anybody, I mean, unfortunately, like YouTubers like Slip, he got banned for no reason because he was doing the right thing. Sometimes you do the right thing, and people like Roblox versus the Slip situation, they make it look like it's a bad thing when it's not. And it's a real shame. It really is. Um, that's really cute. Silly Snoot. But yeah, it's really sad. And it's really sad of like how many, here's the thing about like fake friends. I've had people betray me, I've had people ghost me, I've had people, go from they really like me then they hate me because of a mistake I've made, and and then I've had people just start acting toxic to me for whatever reason, and it's just I've dealt it with fake friends a lot, and it's just like you gotta like really read people these days, because not everybody, like I said, like some people act like your friend and they're not really your friend. Like, yeah, sure, they think but it's just the truth. I've had to dealt with that a lot, like where people pretend to be my friend and they're really not, and it's just, like that one girl from my English class, she acts like my friend. She's like, "Wow, you're so cool." And then, obviously, then I have my friend in English class who's like, "Yeah, she doesn't actually think that. She doesn't really actually want to be your friend. She just acts like a fake friend." Like, um, so yeah, it's a really really shame, and honestly, I'm about to end this live stream. Wish I could talk more about these stories, but there will be more live stories in the next Sunday live stream. So, anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed today's live stream. Anyways, Harmony Blazinski over and out. Goodbye, everybody. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the live stream. Anyways, Harmony Blazinski, over and out. Goodbye.